Well, good morning. It is the day after the election, and we just had to get away. I mean, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, but just so much drama and uncertainty and anger, whatever you want to call it, people on both sides of the fence. And we just jumped in the RV. May well be the last trip of the year. Getting into mid-November, and just have to watch the weather. It's been a warmer than usual fall for us here on the plateau in Middle Tennessee, so we'll just have to see what happens. On our last trip, I talked a little bit about issues we found with RVs, and seem like people out to take advantage of you. I know there's RV parks at places that just stay cram full. I mean, you got to book way ahead of time to get a RV spot. Well, instead of coming here at the last minute, we had a trip planned, a very popular RV park, and an issue came up in the family. We had to back out. You know, I had never in 3 years had this happen, but it was probably a week before we were supposed to be there, and come to find out, cancellation policies at RV parks are pretty atrocious. This particular place had a 15 days out and you get a full refund, 14 days in and you lose everything. So basically, even though we called a week ahead of time, we lost the money on the RV site, and then they'll turn right around, and since it's so popular, they'll rent it out and get double the money for that night. Just one of those interesting issues you don't find with motels and other places. But you gotta watch. If you're gonna go somewhere, try not to miss out, because you could lose a lot of money. Not sure if you can see them swarming around, but doggone, these little old, it's like a ladybug, but it's got the black dots on the back. They're awful right now. I was hiking somewhere not more than a week ago, and they just literally were all over me. Not going to go up on the gazebo, because if I do, they will swarm me. One other thing you have to deal with is, now that we're getting into autumn, late autumn, building a fire out by the RVs always a good option, especially at night time. But most places, practically all places, don't allow you to bring in firewood. Of course, they offer the excuse of introducing certain bugs, that type thing, in the environment that could damage the local trees, so they sell you supposedly local firewood. And typically what we found is, if you get a bundle of firewood from these places, you might be getting 4 or 5 small sticks. Basically, it ain't gonna last long, but somewhere in the $7 to $10 range. Now, I used to cut and sell firewood, and a rick of firewood, which is 4 by 8, I could get $50-$60 out of that. That'd be thousands of dollars if I sold it to these RV places. So fires are nice, especially this time of year, but again, be prepared to pay handsomely for it. This particular park, not far from Monterey, Tennessee, has some old carvings on the bluff, and there's an old cross. I think I know who did that. There's one on B Rock just like it. The date, 1930, I think. And on around here is one that's been a source of legend. Don't think any of it's true, but it was a woman, Oprah Boone, supposedly Daniel Boone's family, sister-in-law, that type thing. Only problem is, it's a really, really old carving. The only problem is when you get on the genealogy type sites and look up Squire Boone and all his children, which one was Daniel Boone. No mention whatsoever of that particular name. I mean, it's a great story, been passed down over the years, but don't think it's too valid. But doesn't matter, still a great story. I think that Daniel Boone's sister-in-law came through. Now, what I think was back in 1930s, 40s or so, people had this kind of like a local cartoon. You find D. Boone was here, Daniel Boone this. I mean, if he was everywhere that his supposed carvings are, then he'd have been all over the country. But I think it was probably an old local joke that people did for fun. Looking at the number of vehicles here, I'm beginning to think a whole lot of people were like us after going through all the election garbage crap from September till now. Everybody just said, heck, let's get out of here, go sit in an RV in a park somewhere. And again, so much negativity with RVs nowadays. YouTube is full of folks complaining about spending tremendous sums of money and getting junk, but I tell you, a little trailer's 3 years old now, a little retro unit, minimal issues, and when we come out here and we can have units on both sides of us, when you get in there and you pull the shades down, you can be anywhere you want to be. It's very relaxing. As soon as I got here, got set up and got inside, I just felt the stress start to go away. So, and I've said it time and time again, don't let all the negativity keep you from getting into this type of lifestyle. We're in it. We're in our unit about 20, 30 days a year. So we're not wearing it out, but so relaxing and so peaceful.
Boy, I tell you what, I can remember going camping, growing up.
Alrighty, took the trash down to the dump. We're getting ready to head on out. This may well be the last trip for this year. The weather gonna start to turn towards the end of next week, getting down to colder weather, and we stayed in the RV one day last year and got down in the high 20s. We were okay, but it wasn't great. We're more warm weather type folks. What made this trip so good was the weather itself. The leaves are still hanging on. Low temps of 70s and mid 60s, so it just made a really good trip. What was amazing to me, it's been about a month since we've been here, and some of these folks are still here from the last trip. It reminds me how much life has changed in that you can pretty well work anywhere you want to now. A lot of these folks are living full-time in RVs, staying at campsites for a good while, see their kids out playing this morning and probably homeschooled. So RV living's just opened up a whole new way of living for a lot of folks in America. What made this a great trip, and I'll close with this, a lot of stress after the election, just watching everything unfold. Don't care what side of the fence you're on, we got out. If you do get out, and you make a reservation, try your best to be there. We found out a hard lesson a few days ago about losing our money because we was backed out about a week before we were supposed to be there. And if you build a fire, it's going to be expensive. May not talk to you again till March. If I don't, y'all have a good winter.